figured you planned on getting some more.
No, I put it up because I put it up because I had to put stuff in the refrigerator. As a ball.
Alright, so go on. I don't even fucking picture myself in that time period.
No, but it's crazy because our ancestors, they only whipped their ass because they got their ass whipped.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
And because they got their ass whipped, they whipped their asses and never explained to us what we was doing wrong. So, no, I refuse to do that to my own child.
Right. And that goes back to Christianity. That's what I should have brought that up with Tommy too. When we got on that subject. I should have brought up, a prime example of us having the side effects of slavery is Christianity. That's the biggest proof that we still have the mindset of slaves. It's still left over in us. Because if it wasn't, we would no longer be Christians. You feel what I'm saying? That's something that was given to us by our parents and their parents and their parents. So not only did that,
itself.
pretty much until somebody breaks that cycle. It's an ongoing cycle. What J. Cole say in the song? He said, you know the stories about abusive households, kids growing up to knock their girlfriends out cold. It's called a cycle. You feel what I'm saying? It's a cycle that's going to repeat until somebody breaks it. But how can you break it when you don't get the proper nutrients? McDonald's, Burger King.
If you don't know, you
everything.
don't know.
Yeah.
So you gonna do what only you were taught.
Exactly.
And with that being said, when you do only been taught, like.
And it's so hard. It's so hard for us to wake up because everything's been stripped from us. Everything. Our religion, our way of life, our technology, our science. We created science. We created astronomy. We created math. All of this shit. From us. They've taken all of our academic research. Took it all. Took our names off of it. Took our faces off of it. Put their names and their faces on it and gave it back to us. Religion. They took our religion. Reformed it. Gave it back to us as Christianity.
Yeah, what you mean they took our religion?
Ancient Egyptian religion. Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism, the 5 main components of religion, all derived from ancient Egyptian and ancient Babylonian religions. Well, Babylonians was the white man's. It was the white ancient European man. And the ancient Egyptian religion of Osiris and Isis, that's where religion comes from. I never told you none of this?
No, I'm lost.
So, Jesus is God's son, right?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, according to Christianity, Jesus is God's son.
I guess a virgin had a baby.
Right. Virgin Mary had a baby. He resurrected. Virgin Mary, of course, was a virgin. When Jesus was born, the kings, the 3 kings, they brought gifts to him.
Yeah, then that's when Maury should have been called. That's when Maury should have been called.
Yeah. But that story is the exact same with the pagan religion from Babylonian times, right? The pagan religion had what was her name? Ishtar. Ishtar in Christian religion is Mary. So Mary is Ishtar. Ishtar had a son named what was his name? Tammuz, right? Tammuz is Jesus. Tammuz is the reincarnation of Nimrod. We already know Jesus was reincarnated. Ishtar, the mother of Tammuz, was a virgin. You feel what I'm saying? The kings came bearing her gifts when Tammuz was born. Virgin Mary was a virgin. The kings came to give her gifts when Tammuz was born.
She just happened to have a baby.
Huh?
She just happened to have a baby.
Who?
Mary.
Mary? No, that's the story. That's the ancient story from the ancient civilizations of this world. They see when those crusaders, and this was even before them. The white man has been going around, like I told you, raping and pillaging for a long time. They came across a lot of documents, a lot of historical research, a lot of everything they've come across. That was the whole point of them even going on the crusades, was to find ancient literature, to find historic literature, religious literature. The crusades were led by the Knights Templar, and they considered the Knights of the Round Table. That's why any executive, any corporation you go to, when you go up to the executive board, what is it? A round table. They discuss things at a round table. That's a whole nother symbol right there.
Oh, like the
You see it in movies.
what you call it with the 12 disciples at the tables?
Yeah,
When they
the
was,
Last Supper.
the Last Supper.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a story, huh?
Yeah, of course. That table it's
It's
a
meeting
representative.
point.
Yeah, it represents a council, right? A council that's in charge of something. A board of executive is considered a council, council, and they're considered pretty much council members. Even our states, we have councilmen in our states. You feel what I'm saying? But that's another story, another time. So when the Knights Templar decided that they was going to go around stealing all these ancient artifacts, you know what they started with was Masonic temples, because the Masons in that time were architects and builders. They were responsible. The Masons, before we got the Freemasons today that run everything, before those Masons, they were Masons. Masonry is a craft of building. The Masons built ancient buildings, not ancient because it wasn't 500-600 years ago, but they were responsible for building the 13th chapel, other religious structures that still stand to this day, like they sacred places, pretty much. That's what the Masons did. They were in charge of one industry and one industry only, and that was building. When the Knights Templar came around, they destroyed that. They didn't destroy it, but they stole all those books from the Masons. You feel me? Killed them off, took their religion as their own. Julius Caesar and Alexander the Great and all these white motherfuckers who went around the world conquering land had already stolen the ancient Egyptian literature, the Hindu literature, the Buddhist literature. They'd already had all that. By the time, I think it was the 14th or the 15th century, when the Knights Templar came around, it was almost like Masonry was the last stop. That was like the last thing that they had to. Not only did they go around making people believe in Christianity, but they made sure that they had all other religions under wrap, pretty much suppressed. You feel me?
So the old religion, they tried to delete that shit.
Of course, they stole up. Yo, it is so many books that have been lost in time. Ancient books that really mean something. You feel what I'm saying? That we'll never see.
Of course, because they've been destroyed.
Exactly. They destroyed a lot of ancient literature. And all in the name of Christianity. Being able to control people. You feel me? Merging the church with the state. Like, that should let you know, like, that was something very weird. Why would the church and state be merged? You feel what I'm saying? In a time where people was going around killing people, forcing them to believe in Christianity. And today, right now, today, it's like we fight over the separation of church and state. Why did they ever come together in the first place? Like, people don't pay attention to the signs. Like, why did they even come together? If we feel today so adamantly about church and state being separated, two separate entities, the church can't control anything that happens in schools, science, politics, and none of that, and they can't control anything in the churches. That's how it should have always been. But the fact that they merged those two together should let people know that something wasn't right with religion. What happened there?
Money.
That to control, power. That's what it was more so about. Back then, money wasn't of that much importance.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
It was more so like power.
Yeah, it
Hey,
was
you know
power.
they got all these people coming to church all the time, so they listen to
Mhm.
you. So guess what? We're gonna preach about this to put them in order.
Pretty much. So I mean, the religions, Christianity ain't nothing but it's considered an
It's not even
eclectic
just
religion.
Christianity,
No,
but
it's not. But see, the thing
it's
is,
all religion.
that's why I say, yo, the rabbit hole is so deep. The information gets so deep that you can kind of lose yourself in the information, right? And it's kind of hard to keep track of it all because it's so much. It's like, and when you worshiping Jesus, yeah, and on one point of view, you worshiping the ancient gods, the ancient Egyptian and ancient Babylonian gods. But on the flip side, you're worshiping Lucifer. You feel me? The illuminated one, the light of the world. You feel me? Uh, what was the angel?
sun.
The angel that fell from. Yeah, you worshiping the sun. You worshiping so many things at once, and don't realize it. But at the end of the day, the people that gave you that religion are only worshiping one. They only worshiping one. That's the Baphomet. And a lot of people don't even. You see the you see the pictures everywhere. The guy with the goat face and he got his arms like Mithra. Mithra, that's another god too. Yo, it's so much. I tell you, I got a lot of shit up here. It's hard to really.
Deeper.
It goes deeper and deeper. I'm telling you. The whole 5-point star and doing the witchcraft and shit. Like I told you about Hollywood. The Hollywood is the wood of a holly tree. In ancient Celtic religions, they believed in magicians, mages, and witches, witchcraft, pretty much. The magic wand was made out of the wood from a holly tree, so it was Hollywood. It was just magic. You feel what I'm saying? Disney World. What's the symbol? Mickey Mouse in a magic costume with a magic wand. You feel what I'm saying? They believe in this shit. The Baphomet has a 5-point star on his head. When you see Satanists worshiping Satan, what do? They draw the 5-point star on the ground with the circle around it, and they got the candles, and they worshiping Satan. I'm telling you, the shit gets so deep. It gets so deep. And even till this day, they still do blood rituals. Can you see tears coming in my eye? Yo, this shit, when I talk about this shit, like, it's like, yo, it gets so deep. And it hits home so hard, yo. It's like, people, it's hard for me. You see how I keep jumping from here and there? Because it's like, if I try to stick on one subject.
You really like tearing up because the shit you hit home. Because it's like, it's so sad that we just fucking stuck. As humans, we don't know which way we're going.
We've been told our whole lives that up is down and down is up. And we living in a world that's just made up of all these ideas from a few men. You feel what I'm saying? All these structures, the doors, the blankets, this bed, the desk. These are all ideas from a few men. You feel what I'm saying? That's
people not getting credit for it neither.
Of course. Like I told you, all the like 99% of the stars and the planets and shit in the solar system were named by the Egyptians. You feel what I'm saying? These stars, that's why a lot of stars are named Al so and so or Al this, Al that. That comes from ancient Egypt. Algebra comes from ancient Egypt. Alchemy, which is ultimately biology, you feel what I'm saying, comes from Egypt. Everything they got
not getting credit for
came from, and I be trying to tell people, like, and then everybody think when you from America, if you were black in America, you're a descendant from African slaves. That's not the case. It was slaves from Egypt, Africa, Indonesia,
fucking everywhere. Canada,
fucking way. We don't
China,
know who we are.
fucking, we all fucked up. Everybody.
We don't know who we are. We don't. So
Chinese
like,
people, you got black Chinese.
Yeah.
They be kinky eye and black, and whole time they fucking Chinese, like, or Japan
crazy.
or something. Like, we all fucked up, and it all started with them fucking, what you call them, shits?
Who?
Them white shits that just stole shit from everywhere.
Yeah.
They stole shit from every fucking land, like.
Cause see, the ancients of this world believed
it was
two
peaceful
things.
before them bitches. Where they come from?
Man, I can go down a rabbit hole on that motherfucker too. The white man from some perspective.
I mean, we do have white people that like good people, but I'm talking about like.
Yeah.
Because
you
when
gotta,
we
this the thing.
when we say white men, we don't mean just because you color white or color is not like a factor in this. It's more so of people that want to take over, the controller. Like,
Yeah.
why are you so in control? I mean, we know why you are in control because you money hungry, you feed, and
Alright.
you
Check
want to
this
be
out.
like the controller of everything. But
Alright.
why?
So-
Just why? Do it
Alright, so
have to
check
be
this
that
out.
way?
Check this out. It's a book called The 13 Bloodlines of the Illuminati. Alright. Now, people when they hear this word Illuminati, is conspiracy theorists and it's bullshit. Illuminati don't exist, and which they may be true. The name Illuminati may not exist no more, but the faction, or I should say the platform that it was built on, is still being used today by what we call the CFR, or the Council of Foreign Relations. You feel what I'm saying? Of course, they don't call themselves the Illuminati no more. That's what the motherfucker that founded it. What was his name? Adam Weishaupt. Adam Weishaupt was the founder of the Illuminati. It is real. People just they like to brush the shit off because they can't find proof of it today. But it may not exist today as the name Illuminati because it's the CFR, the Council of Foreign Relations. The Illuminati was a group that was secretly trying to control the world. CFR is a group that's secretly trying to control the world. Hillary Clinton is in it. Obama's in it. Bill Clinton is in it. The Bushes are in it. All these people are in the Rothschilds are in it. The list goes on. The Bilderberg Group, a part of the CFR. These are the people that control shit. And they're directly connected to the Queen of England, who ultimately believes that they have the bloodline that's supposed to be the ruling class of the world. See, these people in their minds really believe that control of this planet was given to them. They really believe that. They believe that this world was given to them by, I don't know if it's ancient demons, whatever the case may be. All religions are controlled by Vatican City, which is Rome. The Pope controls all religions. Why do you think Christians don't have to wear hats, but all other religions do?
I don't know why they gotta wear them hats.
They have to wear hats in respect to the Pope. That's why Muslims wear the turbans or the
they cover up.
Exactly.
But
Reason
Christians
being
don't.
because this is the reason. But Christians don't. The reason being is because it's only a certain, according to the Vatican City and Rome and the Pope, the people who control all religions, according to them, if you're not worshiping Christianity, it's a cap on the knowledge that you have. It's a certain cap that you don't go beyond. You feel me? You stay down here. So you gotta wear a cap on your head. Your head is where your knowledge is at. So it's pretty much we gotta suppress your knowledge, but our knowledge can flow on. You feel what I'm saying? It's all symbology. The Islamic prayer is written. This is the thing. How do the Pope, right? His throne, where a king has thrones, the Pope has a throne that he sits on. On his throne, on the back of it, is the Islamic prayer. Praying to Muhammad. Like the whole prayer is on his seat. Why is that?
And he's supposed to be Christian.
Exactly. He controls
and
all
he's
religions.
supposed to be Christian.
Mm-hmm. Rome controls all religions. That's why Catholic priests can't get married. You know that, right? They can't get married and they can't have sex with women. You know why? Because they have sex with boys. Little boys. It's a known fact. Priests all around the world and got caught fondling little boys. It's no fact. That's the job they signed up for, to be a priest. Because when you become a priest, why do you think, for one, only Catholic people get possessed by demons? Have you noticed that? Only Catholic people get possessed. Only Catholic priests molest little boys. And only Catholic priests can perform a what do you call it? An exorcism on you. A priest is the only one that can get a demon out of you. You want to know why? Because at the lowest point of Christianity, it all falls on the Vatican City. That's the home of it. That's where it comes from. They know about devil worship. They know about the 5-point star and the Baphomet. That's what they worship. They worship demons. So if you worshiping motherfuckers, of course they're gonna come alive. You feel me? I don't know if demons do or do not exist, and I really don't give a shit. I don't believe in them, so I know it won't be able to control me. You feel what I'm saying? Catholic motherfuckers can have that, but if you look in the Catholic Church, they do all kind of chants and they be calling on spirits, on some real shit. They calling on spirits. They don't have hymns like Baptist church and all these other different types. They have certain chants that they do inside their church that calls forth these demons. Just like when Satanists sit around that 5-point star, they call upon the demons. You feel me? To take their bodies. They're giving their body as a vessel. That's why Jesus wants you to give your body to him, to get baptized. Give me your soul. You feel what I'm saying? That's only something a demon would do. A God wouldn't want to do that. Why would he put a soul in the body, put it down on earth, and then tell you he want it back?
Right, that
you feel what I'm saying?
Make sense.
It don't make any sense. It don't.
Alright, so we're gonna need to continue with Marvel, okay?